Hi, I'm Sam from Interface. We're Bitrix24 Gold partners. Thank you very much for joining today. Okay, so first of all, we'll just go through some introductions. So I'm Sam Connor, Sales Manager here at Interface, and we're based in the UK, the US, and Hong Kong. And we offer a full range of services to assist you with Bitrix24. So, starting off with pre sale support, so we can help you to evaluate the Bitrix24 system. We can see if it could be a good fit for what you're trying to achieve. And if it is a good fit, we can then implement the full system for you based on your requirements. So we can design it out exactly how you need it to work for your organization. Now, if you are interested in the self hosted system, which is the system we're going to be focusing on today, we can provide you with our hosting service. And then we also provide personalized training and ongoing dedicated support to help you to really make the most out of Bitrix right now, but also with proactive support, help you maximize the value that you get from the system moving forward as well. Okay, so if you've maybe joined today's webinar to understand a bit more overall about what Bitrix24 is, let's just go through at a high level what the Bitrix24 system incorporates. Okay, so Bitrix24 is a collaboration suite of well in excess now of 40 different tools that you can use to help you to manage your entire organization. And there are now over 15 million businesses around the world that use the Bitrix24 system. And it's available in two different editions. So, first of all, we have the Bitrix24 Cloud system, so hosted by Bitrix24 using AWS. Or you have the Bitrix24 Self Hosted system, which is what we will be looking at today. When we say self-hosted, it doesn't mean you have to host this on a local server. Essentially, this becomes a private cloud version of Bitrix24. So you can host it on your own private cloud infrastructure. Or here at Interface, we can provide our hosting service for you. So it becomes a fully managed service for you. And then in terms of prices, so pricing, it starts from $49 per month on a cloud-based system. So that starts there at the basic cloud tier. And then for the self-hosted, it starts at $3,590 in year one. So that's at the business 50 tier of Bitrix. And then in year two and ongoing annually, you'll pay a 50% renewal fee to continue to use and access the system. Okay, so we're going to delve into now the self-hosted version of Bitrix. If you do have any questions about the Bitrix Cloud version, then you can ask them. We may be able to get through to answering those. But if there's any other questions specifically about the self-hosted version, then what we can do is we can answer those in today's webinar. We're here live on YouTube today, so please do input any questions into the question box. Okay, so first of all, let's just take a look at the different editions of the self-hosted system. So we have two. So first of all, we have the business edition, and this is the most popular edition of the self-hosted system. So it starts at the 50-seat package, and it includes all of the features that you would have on the cloud version. We have the extranet and additional modules such as a help desk and e-learning system. And it gives you access to all of the customization capabilities that are a benefit of a self-hosted system, such as being able to personalize the system with your branding, use the PHP code block to create custom processes directly inside your Bitrix platform. And the business edition, it goes up to a 500-seat tier of Bitrix24. So And something we help a lot of organizations with is as you scale and grow, as we know with Bitrix, you don't pay per user, so we can easily upgrade your tier of the business on-premise system to the next tier when you need to go up to the next tier for additional seats on the system. And then we have our Bitrix24 Enterprise on-premise system. So this version is our most advanced version of Bitrix24. It gives you access to create an unlimited number of intranet sites, which can all be managed by a single global administrator. So, for example, a company who operates in multiple countries, they may want individual sites with different languages for each country. We can set that up using the division feature available only on the enterprise edition of the on-premise system. And so being able to manage all of that infrastructure from one global control panel is a key benefit for many IT departments that would manage this size of application. And in terms of seat numbers, so the enterprise, it starts at the 1,000 seat package. You can go up to the 5,000, and then we can buy additional 1,000 pack add-ons at any time. So you can see with both editions, it's an incredibly scalable system for any business that is wanting to use an on-premise version of Bitrix24. And what we'll now start to take a look at is some of the additional benefits that you have by using an on-premise version of Bitrix24. So as we go through this area, we're going to take a look into an on-premise system and see what those benefits are on a real life on-premise system. Okay, so one of the main benefits of the self-hosted solution is how customizable the platform is. So self-hosted solutions are full content management systems which can be customized extensively. And so some of those customization benefits include branding. So we're able to create and design branded login pages with your logos, corporate theme, and context for where users log into the system. So as that it then takes place, it really starts to feel like an ownership of the organization. It's their software and will help you to get buy-in for users utilizing the system. And we can then also apply with your domain. So it's a very high level benefit that your staff can access a corporately branded piece of software. You'll also have access to the control panel. So the control panel, it's really the area for administrators to make changes to modules. And those modules, they can be configured in very advanced ways within that control panel. So if you're currently using a Bitrix cloud solution, then you'll be extremely impressed with the additional functionality available within the control panel. So we'll take a look at that shortly. One word of warning with that control panel, it is only for administrators. You do not want to give any standardized user access to that control panel because they're able to make full and customizable changes to the Bitrix24 system. And that brings us on talking about changes to the system. There is full access to the source code. So this means if a customization that you want to create, if it can't be configured within that control panel, it is usually possible to do this directly in the code. And Bitrix, just to be aware, it is built on its own framework in PHP. So changing that source code, it should only be attempted if you have experience of PHP, as well as a very good knowledge of the Bitrix24 platform itself. So alternatively, a partner such as Interface, we can perform this customization for you and ensure it's set up and designed so when updates are applied to your system, that update is a seamless process and you still have your customization accessible and ready to utilize post updates of your system. And then finally, with this, there is full integration capability. So an API is available on the self-hosted solution, allowing you to integrate with thousands of other applications, and you can control the level of integration. And with this, we can then create additional features. So, for example, on the self-hosted system, you have a number of extra features that aren't found on the cloud product, such as mailbox rules in a learning module and deeper level analytics. Okay, so that was just a high level look there at some of the benefits of a self-hosted system. And many organizations we work with, they use a self-hosted version to have access to that customization capability. Because as we can see there, there's a lot of benefits that you could access. Now, what we see a lot of businesses do, they might start to take one or two of those benefits to begin with by styling and rebranding the system and improving the navigation of the system. And then over time and in the future, they then make more advanced customization changes to the system because they've got the capability to perform that action. So when deciding on which Bitrix system to use, you really should be looking at forward planning as to what additional work and customization you may want in the future, because you would be limited on a Bitrix cloud system, whereas on the self-hosted, with access to that PHP code, you're able to create those advanced customizations. So picking the correct type of system from the offset is very critical. And that's something we specialize in here at Interface. It's advising businesses as to which type of license will be not just most suitable for you now, but most suitable for you in the years ahead as well. Okay. And delving then into that customization benefit in some more detail, one of the main reasons for choosing a self-hosted option, it is that ability to customize the look and the feel of your intranet. And the site can be customized to match your corporate look, and the functionality can also be configured to make using the system more intuitive. So, first of all, with that editing piece, any page can be edited, and administrators, they can create custom pages using the page editor wizard. So we're going to take a look at these in some more detail very shortly. We can improve the navigation. So one way to improve this user experience and then save time navigating modules is the links in the navigation panel on the left-hand side. They're fully editable with a self-hosted version. And it's actually possible to display different navigation items to different sets of users. And that's a key benefit because it means different user groups are able to see specific modules in their Bitrix. And so it's easier for them to navigate the system. As we discussed at the start of the webinar, there are over 40 modules within Bitrix. There's no way one user needs access to all 40 modules. So it can be very difficult on a cloud version to roll through all of the different areas of the system. Whereas within the self-hosted, we can strip those out. So you get more buy-in from staff because it's easier for them to navigate and more intuitive for that user group. We can then also customize the dashboards on the system. So we have that full customization capability of dashboards, creating dashboards, pulling in different sets of data, or using the API available within the system to feed data into Bitrix. This is a customer portal available on both the cloud and self-hosted. This is a very big use case of the self-hosted system, being able to invite your customers or suppliers into a collab space. But with the self-hosted, you get the flexibility to create custom page layouts and branding on the system. And then finally, all modules are customizable, and it is possible to create even your own bespoke modules to perform specific actions for your business. So let's just take a look now at a self-hosted version of Bitrix. As we can see here, so for a front-end user, we can see here, there are only specific modules here that they have access to. So it's a lot of a cleaner UI for users to be able to access. And we can see here, this is the login page of a cloud system. And as we've discussed with a self-hosted version, We can strip out the Bitrix24 branding so you can have your own corporate identity to the version of Bitrix that your staff utilize. And then if we come into the control panel, so I can see here, I have access to that control panel. And as we've discussed, only your administrators should be given access rights to this area of the system. And then within here, you have access to all of the back end of the Bitrix system with all the file paths. You can see a full audit log of your users within the system, so you can manage your user list very seamlessly through the system here. And we can set up all of the configurations for security within the application here. So it's a very advanced area of Bitrix that you simply do not have access to within your cloud-based version of the product. And if we come into, for example, here, the mailbox area, again, we have advanced settings on the application. So what we can do here is we can create mailbox rules, for example. So as you have within a cloud version, you have access to attach mailboxes into Bitrix. But this is one example of the advanced level of customization capabilities you have with a self-hosted version. With a self-hosted, we can then create a rule. So when an email comes into a specific mailbox, we can have it automatically create a support ticket within the help desk module. It's a feature many organizations like to utilize, and we do see a lot of businesses who start off on a cloud system who then actually they realize the capabilities of Bitrix at a higher level, and they ask for features like this within their system. It's not possible to get that rule, that mailbox rule, on a cloud system. So in the only possibility there is to transition to an on-premise, and that migration process, it is a little complex and there would be costs involved. So this is where we talk about making sure you make the correct choice as to the addition of Bitrix right from the offset of your evaluation of Bitrix. Because if you do want to use features such as this, you will need to have an on-premise system. So it makes a lot more sense to start off and invest in an on-premise system from day one than have to try and migrate and transition to an on-premise system in year 2 or year 3 once your team are already settled and utilizing Bitrix day to day within the organization. Okay, so that is a look at the control panel. I mentioned within the control panel how we can create customizations and create content within the system. So one of the ways many businesses create content is by adding new pages within their Bitrix system. And a very popular type of page businesses create is using and creating a policies area where policy information can be stored for users to be able to view and access through the Bitrix system. So for example, if we take a look here in the company page, we have a site map here. So we have the ability to easily navigate to different areas of our Bitrix system. But let's say actually we want to create another page within this area. Okay. With a cloud version, you simply don't have functionality to do that. So let's take a look at how we can do this with an on-premise version. So what we need to do, again, as an administrator, I go into the control panel. We then want to go into the content area, and then we want to come into the file and folder section. And we were looking in the about section of the company module. Okay, so inside here, what we're going to do first of all is to create and add a file. And so in here, this is the page editing area. So first of all, we want to give this page a title. So let's call this policies page. And then we can start to add information here. Okay, so this is where we can store content, and this can be styled. We're just going to start to add some information that this is going to be the new policies page. You can add images, content into here, styling. You can even pull in information from the internal side of your Bitrix, such as deal information, for example. If there may be a certain type of page where you wanted to share deal information with maybe staff that aren't sales orientated and maybe not accessing the CRM, we could then pull that content into the system here. So let's just apply that page. We can see we've started to create that page. And then we need to create a menu item for that page. So let's now create this. And then we can input this here. Okay, so let's now apply the policies page title. So that's now linked the menu item with the content page that we have created. So if we come back onto the front end of the site, we can go into the company page, and you can see now that policies page tab has been created. And you can see the information we added to that page is now showing on the front end of the system. So that can obviously be styled out and incorporated into your pages. So it's just a very high level example to show the level of customization we can start to do with an on-premise system. You've seen how we can create rules on very standard features on mailboxes. You can see now how we can create new pages and content into the front end of Bitrix. We've seen how we can rebrand the system. All of these different features, which really roll up to add on to the already amazing functionality Bitrix has, it takes the system to really that next level. And that's why many businesses purchase an on-premise version of Bitrix24. Now, another very key benefit of what we've just seen here, where we've created this policies page, let's just go back into the control panel area. What we can then do is when we have created that content, I can control who has visibility over that information. Okay, so if we come back into this page and let's go back into the menu, if we turn on the advanced mode here, I can then control who has access to these different areas of the system. So on that menu edit, we might want to say only certain user groups have access to certain pages that we have created. Okay, so this management page, which is in the company module, I'm going to say only HR employees are able to access that specific page. So it allows you to put rules in place to ensure visibility over the content that your staff are creating here within the control panel area. It's controlled access for who is able to view that information. So especially for organizations that have maybe highly confidential information that only accessible to certain employees, you have more advanced permissions with an on-premise version of Bitrix that your team are then able to utilize and take advantage of. Okay, so that is a look at how we can create more content using the system. And we talked as well about how we can customize the external portal area of the system. So here we have an external portal. So we can see here on the left-hand side the different menu options that are available to this external user. So again, you have the corporate login page, the customized menu structure. We can then start to customize processes for the ability to create support tickets, for example, inside the system. So you start to really see how for your external user database, how using an on-premise system, it allows for advanced flexibility to control what users are able to view, access through the application that we are setting up. And if you do have any questions about what internal features an external person could access, do contact us, sales@interface.com. And one of our team will be happy to have a call with you to discuss the requirements you have specifically. Because if you are using an on-premise version of Bitrix, we're able to create more advanced permissions on these areas of the system. Okay, so that is a look at the customization capabilities. And as we've mentioned with the on-premise system, we're able to create and store additional features on the application. So we've mentioned already about custom pages and content modules, but additional features we have created here at Interface include a help desk module. So we mentioned how using a mailbox rule, we can automate the creation of a ticket within the system. So when that email comes in with our custom help desk module that we built here at Interface, we can then automatically have a ticket created inside the system here. So you can see our help desk, we have tickets that are progressing through different stages. So we have full visibility over the support process here. And if we go into the automation rules, what we're able to see here is we can see the different automations that we have set up on those tickets. So as soon as a ticket comes in, we can set up SLA levels to control how quickly different tiers of customer need to be able to have their tickets processed inside the system. So if you have a very specific process for managing your tickets with deadlines, we can set that SLA process up. And if we click view here into a ticket, we can see all of the information about the ticket inside the page, and we can see the email communications and activity. And what's very valuable with this process is all of the ticket information rolls up to the CRM level. So inside the customer's profile, at the contact or company level or both, we can see the help desk area here. And for this, we're then able to see all of the tickets that are accessible for that specific customer inside the system. So you have the ability here to see all of that visibility of tickets. And that is incredibly valuable for many different staff. So, for example, if you're part of the sales team, then you might not need to have visibility over all of your tickets for a ticketing system, but having that view of how many tickets have been added and how many have been progressed through that support workflow, that may be key information that your sales staff need when they're going to set up new meetings with their customers. So again, you start to see how with an on-premise, we can slice and dice information, control what different users have visibility of within the system. So key information is visible to key staff across the entire organization. But importantly, we're controlling that level of permission within the infrastructure. And if you are interested in our help desk system, as I say, this module, it is built specifically and available for the on-premise version of Bitrix, rolling up tickets with visibility within the CRM system. Please do contact us and we'll be happy to set up a demonstration for you and talk you through the value that the help desk system could provide for your support requirements. Okay, so let's look at some of the additional features. We mentioned already about integrations. It really is the third key benefit of a self-hosted solution. So we can create integrations with external applications, and using those advanced rules, such as creating tickets from a mailbox, you have that advanced capability and can control integrations. Okay, moving on. Just to now talk a little about hosting options, because obviously with a self-hosted version of Bitrix, it does require hosting infrastructure. So essentially there are two choices. First of all, you have a choice to host in-house. So for self-hosting, we can provide you with a virtual appliance. So it's a free application that allows Bitrix to run in a pre-configured and fully secured virtual environment. And importantly, this saves time on product installation and maintenance, and it also improves the overall system performance. Okay, so that's the first option. The second option is Bitrix can be hosted by Interface, so as a partner. And this is what we class as a dedicated cloud solution. And there are many benefits to this. So the benefits include, first of all, performance of the server, it's managed by us as the partner. So if you do not have an IT organization within your setup, then really you shouldn't be trying to manage a server yourself. That's where we can provide our experience. Our servers are optimized for speed, and all of the backups are managed by ourselves. So your data is secure, and we can set up a backup retention policy that meets your needs and requirements. And very importantly, projects can be scaled without investing in further hardware yourself. So we can increase the spec of your server to ensure your Bitrix system is always ready and your server is optimized for the level of demand that you need to have for your setup. So essentially, partners are specialists in managing servers, and that partner hosting, it saves you time, but also more than anything, I'd say it provides peace of mind. If you're not experienced in setting up servers and managing them day to day, you don't really want to be getting involved in that area of the setup. So we can manage all of that for you. Okay, and so we discussed a lot about functionality, and I think it's very important to bring this back down to just highlight the different elements of pricing which you need to be aware of when it comes to a self-hosted version of Bitrix. So, as we mentioned earlier on, in terms of the pricing, so the license cost, it starts at $3,590 for the Business 50 tier of Bitrix. So that's the lowest level of the self-hosted version. And then in year two and ongoing annually, you'll pay a 50% renewal fee to continue to access the on-premise system. So it is a subscription-based model that you need to be aware of. For hosting, so partner hosting costs approximately $2,950 for 100 gig of hosting for 12 months. That's scalable, so that can go up into the terabytes of hosting with increased service spec if required. So it's a conversation we can have with you to understand what level of hosting you need for your specific setup. And then additional costs you need to think about and budget for are customizations that you may need to the system or any integrations with external applications. And really, just as critical is training and ongoing support for this system. As you will have seen today, the on-premise version of Bitrix, it is, well, first of all, it's the most advanced version of the system. And so with that, absolutely imperative that you are trained on how to use the system and that you have ongoing support to ensure you're able to utilize the system effectively and have that ongoing guidance. Without all of that in place, we simply wouldn't recommend in setting up an on-premise version of Bitrix24. So in summary today, we've seen how the self-hosted version of Bitrix is the most advanced version of our product portfolio. It's a fully customizable system that can be integrated with other applications. We have extra features available, but I think most importantly, it is that ability to customize the system. And more than anything, it's future proofed. So it may be that you don't need to customize the system at this point in time, but in the very near future, you may then decide and have a requirement that's maybe business critical where we need to use the features available in a self-hosted to create the customization that you require. So it's something to think about. And as I say, we can have that conversation with you to help you to determine and evaluate which tier of Bitrix24 would be most suitable for your needs. Okay, so here are a selection of our up and coming webinars. So we are here every other Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can register for those webinars at intraface.com/webinars. And you'll see the recordings of all of our webinars on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/intraface. Okay, so thank you very much for your time today. I look forward to seeing you all in the very near future. And bye for now.